Great thing to do at the end of songs. You can come back. I don't think in the last 20 years I've done that once, but I play that every single time I play drums. I play the first note quiet and the second note loud. So it's one, let's see, I'm sorry, first right quiet and the second right loud. 1, 2. So from this, where everything's in your face to the way that I play it. Put it out there in a way that someone doesn't really recognize as much. Any questions before we move on? 1, 2. Okay. So the one thing that I heard a lot about was improvisation. Like I started improvising, and then that turned into a lot of I need help with my fills. It's all kind of the same. Like there's the do your job and play this thing that's very specific and play it exactly as is. And that would, maybe that's a groove. So somebody says kick pattern and snare is this. And then hi-hats and everyone here, if given enough time, could do that with no problems whatsoever. If I just, maybe the speed might be an issue if you haven't played for a long time, but if I gave you that groove and said, do that, you can do that. As soon as I say, explore that, that's when everything goes wrong. When it's like, everyone knows like, well, I know how to do this, I know how to do a fill, but I don't know how to explore this. It's like, well, that's where we have to put our practice. We need to start exploring things like their environments. So let's think of a groove that maybe everybody kind of already knows. So like, well, I don't know if you know it, but the songo is a great one. Does anyone know the songo? You know it? Cool. Anybody else? Just raise your hand. Yeah. Can you play it?
With the out kick on the first count.
Yeah. That's the most generic version. Can you play that?
It's been a while, but I can try.
You want to try it? What if I gave you $1?
Then you should have been a bit earlier.
Okay, sorry. €1?
I've been to Curacao, so then I could spend it.
Ah, all right. Give it a try. I'll give you 10 of whatever you want.
Send drum catch.
Oh, come on, man. I was drinking. It's like, that's just like a huge no, but so much confidence.
I lost the notes.
I'll take it, that's fine, no worries. Don't have to do it. At one point in time? Almost. So the right hand is just chord notes the whole time. Ba, do, ba, 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 do, ba. So if the base of our groove is this, and if I want to feel free in that groove, I'm going to have to work on different things. I can work on the groove by itself. And all I'm really doing is varying up the high or the snare drum accents. I could work on some right hand options, the real creativity, a lot of times, it doesn't come from doing a bunch of crazy stuff and trying to involve chops or anything like that. It's just finding like orchestrations that don't sound quite as normal as the thing. Like, to me, this sounds like, you know how keyboards have like beats on them? Like bossa nova. And it literally goes, which has never once been played in a Brazilian bossa nova in Brazil, ever. That groove doesn't even exist. But, you know, and then they have rumba, which is like a dance period in Cuba. It's not even a groove, it's just a dance period, but they made a groove for it. But like when I play this, and I blink constantly, I feel like, oh, this is like a Casio keyboard groove. So what I want is like, well, what's my version of this? But I can't like just change it. So I might start maybe moving with the right hand down to the snare for a bit. I like that little. So with that, like, I always see grooves and specific things on the drums as like staying in a hotel in a new city. I show up in, where are we?
Apeldoorn.
Like I said, I show up in Apeldoorn. Huge fan of Apeldoorn. So I show up here and I get dropped off at my hotel, and that's the song note. Like, that's the note for note. But I haven't explored it at all. So on day 2 of staying at my hotel in Apeldoorn, I asked the front desk, like, hey, like, I'm really into matcha. Are there any cafes around here? And they say, yeah. You just go down there, you go down there. Then they make some of the Dutch noises, and you, and I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, now we're lost. And I was like, okay, got it. But I go to, and I walk out there, and then I'm like, oh, damn, they've got a shoe store. Like, I need to get some Adidas because I lost my luggage. And then I explore, and then when I get back to the hotel, I feel a little more like, man, I've seen Apeldoorn a little bit. Then the next day, Brother Jay comes around, picks me up with B. They rented a Lambo for the night. It's awesome. We got like a Lamborghini. The 3 of us go out, and they take me to their favorite local restaurant. Now I feel like me and Apeldoorn are getting to know each other pretty well. And then when we're done with the restaurant, he's like, can we swing by my house? I want you to meet my son. Yeah, absolutely. And I get to see some of the family life of Apeldoorn. Then when I go home, think about how I would feel about this town versus I went to the hotel, I played a drum click, and I went home. And people are like, oh, how was Amsterdam? By the way, right now, this is Amsterdam for me. This is all I've seen. It's like, I don't know, it looked just like the one in Paris, just looked like the one in Egypt. You guys have pyramids? I don't know. Like, this is Apeldoorn. Or I lose my luggage, and Brother Frank takes me out, and we go walk the town, and we find, what is it? Hey Ma? Yeah? What is it? Hey Ma. That store's amazing. We call it Target, but it's amazing. So it's like, if somebody asks me how was the Netherlands, I have some memories now, you know? Then we went and got matcha today, and that was like fun. We got to walk this area a little bit. So treat your grooves like that. If I'm working on this, I need to explore this. So this is the hotel right here. Now I'm like, it needs some texture. Oh, sorry, that was a little Bernard Purdy. But I do feel that deep in my soul. Come on. And then maybe I wanted to explore the kick. Maybe some odd grouping. 3. That could be 6 weeks of my life of just exploring the Gadsden room, exploring. And so a lot of times when it comes down to improvising, it's not about doing like a bunch of chops one after another. You can like just go for an hour. I could literally do that for an hour, and it's so this the whole time. You know, it's like getting to 100 miles an hour on the freeway. The journey from 0 to 100 is amazing, but once you're at 100, there is no inertia. The physics are done. You're just sitting still, being like, it's 100, and it's like, is it? Is it, or is it 0? It's like it's 0. There's no journey. So for me, like the chops aren't the thing. It's the freedom to speak, and that being able to speak takes a lot of work. So sometimes I'll come up. Do you guys know what motifs are? Motifs in jazz. Or we'll just call it, like, I call them bookmarks, but I'll come up with a bookmark of like, okay, that's what's anchoring me. So let's say I'm doing this. Those are all 2-bar fills. I'm just anchored by something that I'm not really giving to you, but it's there the whole time. So the whole time I'm thinking, dang, 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 dang. So that's what, like every 2 bars, I'm kind of getting in this. So instead of improvising the whole time. What I'm doing is going dang, dang, stressful at all to play for 5 minutes in 2-bar fills. So we're going to give it a try. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to play 1 and 2 on the kick, and then you're going to improvise for the rest of the 2 bars. So you're improvising for 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll be 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 1, 2. So just to make sure we have since we haven't used the pads at all and they set them all up, let's try this. Let's just get used to the feeling of that. So we're all going to stomp out 1 and 2 when I count you in. And then I just want you to play straight 16th notes for the rest of it. So it'll just listen, don't play. This is what we should have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, go. Damn drum solo there. 3, 4, 1, 2. One more time. Boom, boom, 3, 4, 1, 2. I'm going to stop at the feet. Boom, boom. Perfect. So now, let's get used to improvising in a pressure packed situation. So we're all going to do the boom, 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 and then just one at a time. I'll point at you, and you take the solo part, okay? So it's like boom, 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 bang, shuffles it, behave, dome, dome, shake it, ding, ding, dome. Boom, 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 fliggy, ding, buckety, biggity, buckety, biggity, buckety, biggity, hot, ta, ta, boom, boom, boom. And we'll just go all down the road. The train stops for no one. So if you go, skank, oh, I'll step, we're going. So my suggestion is, whatever you think you're capable of, pull back a little bit. The thing is us going boom, 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 boom. That's the thing. That is way more important than how rad you are on a pad for a bar and a half. I do not care if you've got like your, like, oh, here we go, I'll work on this. Like, I couldn't care less. If you do this, boom, 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 I'll be like, oh, shit, sorry. But I will be very excited for you. Just don't let the thing fall apart. So if you're like, but I worked on this, and I went to this clip, don't. Just go. My suggestion, if you're really nervous, is play singles and just give them some love. Boom, boom, boom. All I'm doing is single stroke. So, you guys ready? I mean, we got 27 folks to get through. Here we go. This is going to be the sickest Netherlandic. What do you call this? Dutch. I think you got it wrong. I think Netherlandic is way better. We're going to go with Netherlandic. Yeah.
That's where
Okay.
Peter Pan lives.
Here we go. So here's some Netherlandic awesomeness. Are we bringing Max in?
Yeah, of course.
Let's go, Max.
Max.
You got this, brother. I'll help you along. All right. Thinking our tempos here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my God. Oh my God. We just talked about this. Okay, so it'll be everyone's boom, 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 but just one soloist at a time. All right, and then when we get to you, can you leave that long? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's hard to count 4. 3. Ooh, okay, who's confident now? Dirty. Dirty. I like that. Woo! Yes, 4. 2, 3, last one. Boom. Amazing job. Amazing job. So, having an anchor like that will really, really take the pressure off of you. You can start really simple. Then put that motif or that bookmark, put that every 4th bar. And then if you start to build it like that, then drum fills are like nothing. The drum fills so easy. And you know, that would be my suggestion for those of you that don't really know how to improvise, because I think improvisation gets brought to us as an all or nothing thing. You're either playing a groove or a very specific fill, or somebody says, go for it. And you're like, all right, well, there's got to be a way to practice. I can't just start from nothing and then, you know, be like, pretend like you know where you're, it's like, that's tough. That's like an open drum solo. Not only is it tough, but it's rare. Like, besides being a drum clinician, you know how big your band would have to be for the singer to leave stage for like a costume change? Like, you guys have to be like Aerosmith. Like, at no point is maybe like 10-minute drum solo. We'll be back. Like, that's not going to happen. So, and even if it did happen, it'd be in like an arena setting where you just do this. And everyone's like, oh, and then you go, oh, they lose their mind and fire comes up. You don't even have to do anything. So I would just start to slowly bring yourself into the world of improvisation with these little 2-bar phrases, and then eventually disguise that. Maybe I don't let you know about the, but it's there. So, that boom, 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 that saves me from having to do a 5-minute drum solo. I just have these little 2-bar chunks, and our brains can handle that much, much easier. So for when it comes to improvisation, take it easy on yourself. The other thing you can do is try to improvise maybe on just one instrument. That helps me a lot. So if we had, sometimes I'll just see like, what can I do on the hi-hat without screwing that up? That's really, really tough, especially if your brain, like we talked about, is a little bit kind of ADD when it comes to the drum set. I'm the same way. If I'm playing this on a gig, I've already played about 16 million notes in my head. I've ripped over. I was like, check it out. But it's like, don't do it. But it's not like I'm not thinking it. I have to like block that part of my brain and go, dude, just commit to this. But to be able to go, and then have like a full-on solo here. When I say solo, I don't mean just showing off. I mean improvise. Can you completely improvise this without it changing this? Even that. That's tough. Who wants to give that a shot?
Yeah.
Yeah? Let's
Sure.
go. Let's go. Come on. My man. I honestly just wanted to get over my teeth.
You're welcome.
Come on, Dutch humor. Netherlandic humor. That was good. That was really good. All right, so boom, ka, ba-boom, boom, ka. You can do anything you want to do. Yeah. So you added snares, you moved snares, you put in ghost notes. Nothing but that kick and snare pattern. The hi-hat is the only thing you mess with. As soon as he goes into improvisation mode, he improvises everything, which is normal. That this isn't like an accident. I'm not like, oh, what the hell? Like, we all do that. So now, what you want to practice at home is like, you can't. There's rules. You can't break it. Like the crowd dances to kick and snare. They feel kick and snare. They couldn't care less about the hi-hat. No one. Can you play like a 16th note group? Like, okay. So what are we feeling? We're feeling that. No one is feeling that. Like no one feels all 16 hi-hat notes. It's like, yo, I think this jam. I'm like, no way. So they're feeling kick and snare. So we have freedom with this to embellish, to add in some rolls, to have some fun. But as soon as you go boom, 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 boom. Like if you leave out that snare, I'm going down. I'm going to take a digger because I'm counting on boom, 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 boom. It's so much harder than it looks. Great job. Who else wants to give it a shot? Yeah, come on up, 16. Do you understand the rules?
So,
Oh, yes. Okay, I'll tell you, it's hard, right? Too hard. We this. Do one thing, which is the groove, and then a completely different thing. That feels really comfortable to us, but to keep two things the same. Yeah, here we go. We'll do it quick. We'll do it quick. Quick. Running out of time. And Fred gets pissed. Don't even act like you're cool with it. You told me earlier. If I go 5 over, I'll lose all my money. Don't even my clothes. What? I'll call your mom. I'll call your mom. First of all,
It's way more difficult than it seems.
oh yeah, no, totally. Do you gig?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he sounds like he's had to make people dance before, because there's like a responsibility when you gig of like, you cannot let this thing fall apart, man. People are counting on you, especially if it's like a function gig and people are drinking a bit and they're like kind of like, hey, they need you to stay. It's like, and the same thing in California, like in churches, where people like me attend church, they can't clap. It's so bad, like they're like, they look like they're catching flies, like, and I'm like, Mom! I'm not sure. So like, it's like, you have to like, okay, I've got a responsibility. And even though the drummer brain in me is like, oh, I'm about to drop some heat, it's like, why? You're gonna screw up everybody's experience here. So you sound like a gigging drummer that knows how to like hold it down. That was badass.
Oh, thanks.
That was badass. You said you wanted to give it a shot? Yeah, let's do it.
I'll do whatever. All this.
Boom, boom. One more kick.
Sorry?
One more kick. Boom. Boom, boom. What do you keep the kick? No. Ah! Dirty kick. Ah! Okay. So every time he improvises, he already has a habit from what we were talking about in the brain, that if he does anything, he'll get that second kick on the of one. Every time. That is his thing, whether he knows it or not. Every time he does anything, he's gonna go boom, boom, that little thing is his anchor to make him feel safe, and I know you feel safe. But that's a really normal thing, and the only way to even find this stuff out is to record yourself. Because you don't know you're doing it. If you knew you were doing it, you just stop it. But you don't even know it's happening, because we're trying to keep track of 4 limbs at the same time. So that was awesome. All right, just real quick before we wrap up, are there any questions at all that are more suited for this environment than the clinic tonight? This is the time to ask.
You wanted me to ask the thing about the consistency of your setup?
Yeah, so he was just asking about like, why is my set up like this, small? Like I don't have a lot of drums, don't have a lot of cymbals, I don't even know what this does. It's because I'm a teacher. I don't get the luxury of being a drummer. I'm not an artist, I'm a teacher. Like my job is to help other drummers become artists. So I've always taught on this. If you look at my earliest YouTube videos, maybe not the earliest ones, but eventually once I realized the responsibility of teaching, once you get videos that are in the millions of views, there's a huge responsibility. And part of that responsibility was, if I teach something, it has to be taught on what everyone has, at least. Everyone that already bought their drum set has at least rack, snare, floor, hi-hat, crash, and ride. That is, I can teach on that. As soon as I bring in a second tom, you may not have that. And now you're gonna have to figure out how to adapt my lesson for you because you don't have a second tom, or a second floor tom, or a side snare, or maybe my thing involves a set of X hats or a stacker, and you don't have that. So I've just never allowed my own personal setup to grow past what I think everyone in the world has at home, as long as they've already bought a drum set. Obviously some people don't have a drum set yet, but that's why I don't expand past this. As much as I would love to, I'm very fortunate to be endorsed by my own and get free cymbals and stuff, and I would love to be like, send me the Matt Gartzka Lou Holland X Stack triple whammy cheeseburger. But I just don't. I don't even travel with my own signature cowbell because I just know, like, well, a lot of people don't have a cowbell, so I don't want to involve it in my teaching and then have people think they have to go buy a cowbell. So that's why. Anything else? 3? Yeah.
Why the simple?
Jeez,
So
you don't even raise a hand? I mean, he got yelled at for chewing with his mouth open or talking with his mouth open today. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Yes, out of love. Your cymbals are quite low.
Yes.
I think some higher, but
Yes, so I would say it's because of I get the luxury of playing by myself, meaning I'm not playing with a band. In a band, I'd be a lot louder, and I would actually need a little bit more height to be able to move my arms. So when I play in bands, then my cymbals come up a bit so that I can get more momentum and more motion into them. But when I'm teaching or when I'm performing like I am tonight, I like to look down on my gear. It just gives me like a producer's view of the drum set instead of looking up at it. But yeah, as soon as I hear distorted guitars, I'm like, all right, raise them up. Yeah. So it just depends, honestly. But I do recognize, even at my drum camps, I'll usually raise my cymbals up a little because I recognize they're pretty low for most people to feel comfortable on. So I agree with you. 16.
Might be a bit off topic, but you record obviously quite a lot. We also try to record because you sound really great on the microphone, I think, especially with just 2 or now 3 microphones.
Yeah.
What are like the biggest tips for recording?
For recording?
Yeah, because I think you sound great.
Oh, thanks, man. You mean just the sound of the drums in general?
Yeah, and how you get them to the video and to sound good even on smartphone.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I mean, one, it comes down to what we've been talking about all day, which is hours. How many hours have you put into it? Like, I've put thousands of hours just sitting in a room with a single overhead. I only got 2 overheads like a year ago, so I was like, I got to earn that. So I always had one mic above my kit, right above the kick pedal, and then one in front of the kick. But the reason I switched to that setup, because I have like a microphone endorsement, so I get free microphones. I have tons of mics. But the reason I switched to that is because I felt like I was relying too much on mixing the drums after the fact. Like if my floor tom was a little quiet, I'd just bring it up in the mix. And I just realized I needed to mix myself. And so a single overhead made me, if the floor tom's too quiet, I have to hit it harder. That's it. But as far as getting the sound itself, I can tell you this, I've done the same thing with my $99 microphones, my cheap ones, and it sounds dang near the same, almost. So it's not the quality, or it's not the expensive microphones or anything like that. It's a lot of it. I mean, do you record yourself right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got like a little bit
cool. Yeah, so a lot of it is just cutting frequencies. That's how I get frequencies to show up. So like EQ is literally like this cup. Like you can only have so much, and then it flows over. So you can't just keep boosting. Like, a little more lows, a little more of this. It's like then it clips. So I'm always taking things out first. So I'll just kind of go to my mids. I mean, all drums sound terrible in the 500 hertz to about 700 hertz area. That's where all that like pump, pump. You agree? Right? So we cut there because that's just not a good sound. So I'll start with like a really, really narrow band, and I'll take it to like negative 20 dB all the way down to whatever the EQ will go. And then I sweep from like 4 up to about 700, and I'm looking for the most offensive frequency as I'm just playing the tom. And it's like, pong, 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 and I'm like, oh my God. And then I know what to take out. And then I'll widen that band a little bit, and all of a sudden, it sounds like I added high end. There's more click to the tom. It sounds like I added low end. There's a body there. And I didn't. All I did was take out the offensive frequencies. So a lot of it is cutting frequencies. I don't use anything fancy as far as plugins. I use Slate plugins just because I like the way they look. I couldn't care. I don't know anything about their sound. I'm like, that looks cool. They look expensive. Yeah, and then I don't really use, go ahead.
Do you use visual EQ or
I see like a graphic EQ that you can see. No, I use like Neve recreation EQs. So I use like the hardware versions of those things. But those work too because they teach you, like you can see it as the graphics going through, you can see like where you're peaking and stuff. I don't really use any reverb at all. And then compression for sure, but compression is a tough one if you're not a rock drummer. Compression is tough because I do so much delicate stuff that when you're compressing, you're not just compressing from the louds down, you're also kind of bringing the lows up. And now I'm losing my ghost notes because now my ghost notes and my accents sound similar. So you have to be, I'm really just with compression trying to make sure that nothing jumps out too loud at anybody. But I definitely think going from one mic as an overhead to 2 mics and then hard panning them, it's still right. So my stand comes out of the ceiling in my studio and it's coming right here, and then I've got them pointed like XY like this. And then I pan hard left and pan hard right. And even on a mono signal like, like YouTube or something, I mean YouTube's stereo now, but it still sounds wider and fatter. And then I have 2 kick mics, so an in and an out. And that was a big difference too. Like adding that out mic really, really changed everything. So my out mic, if you soloed it, it literally just goes and nothing else. But when you combine that with the in mic that's going kick, kick, and you put them together, it's really nice.
would you recommend sticking to like the 2 setup mic or like an overhead at least and a kick mic? Because I now have like some more inputs on the new interface.
It just depends on what you're doing. Like if you're doing it for bands, you're going to get lost with just overhead and kick. You kind of have to go the opposite way. Have all of your close mics as the primary thing, and then you feather in your overheads and room mics. But if you're playing by yourself and you do that, it sounds really fake. So when you see somebody on Instagram by themselves and they're in a room, they're in their bedroom, and they go, "Goosh, ska!" I'm like, dog, you're out of your, there's no way it sounds like that. Like those are samples. Like I know you're just triggering your drums through the peaks of things. So they're just using like slate triggers and stuff. So to me, it makes more sense to kind of go the Carter McLean route, Mark Juliana route, where it's like, it kind of feels like you're in the room with them. Also keep in mind my job, I'm an educator. I need to bring you in, not push you away. So I need you to feel it. And that's the other thing too, is like, you guys never really see it on camera, but right to the side of my hi-hat pedal is another stomp box, like for a guitar player, but it's a talkback pedal, so that's what's going to my lav mic. So when I'm done teaching something, I step on this, and it shouldn't all of a sudden you hear the whole, it should be like, whoosh, hey, we're here, right? So if you're hearing everything from my overheads, when I turn this mic on, it should sound like we're still in the same room you just heard me. So yeah, buddy.
What do you do to stay in mountain pages with all the different stuff you are doing, like filming, teaching?
Yeah.
What do you do to protect your energy?
Yeah.
Even with like jet lag and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just in the back snorting matcha.
Obviously.
Yeah. Just rubbing matcha on my gums. No, I mean, I'm really fortunate that I don't know if I could do it as a performer. If I had to come here and just perform for you guys, I don't know how those people do it, because it is your first performance of them maybe, but it might be their 700. I couldn't do that. Like, what keeps me motivated is you. You guys are trying to get better at the drums, and as soon as you sit down, you know, as soon as Meryl sits down and tells me about her kick, I'm like, all right, we're gonna solve this pedal as a family. Like, I know we can do this. And then when you guys have like a little breakthrough, my heart just like wants to explode, and I'm like, you might go home and practice that today. Like, that's the greatest thing ever. So you guys are what motivates me the most. And then the other thing is, I had to get a new passion. Like, I got over the drums at some point. I was like, this is my 24/7 job. So making my own videos for myself instead of hiring people, the passion became video, color grading, you know, becoming obsessed with trying to make better videos every time. Even if it's just on your phone, I still want people to feel like, oh, this guy clearly cares. Because I don't know how much you guys know, but there is no staff at MikeSauces.com. It's me and my wife. That's it. So I'm in a room by myself from morning till night, and I literally have to talk to myself as I go around and turn the cameras on. So I go, recording on 1, by myself. Recording on 2, but on the overhead. Because if I don't say it, I don't know if I did it. And then then I get, you know, and I go, welcome in. You know, and I talk to a camera, but I imagine he's there with his Cali accent, even though he's from here, but he's kind of bored with something in America. But I always have someone in my mind. When he was on the website, he was in my mind. He lived in the camera, and I was like, all right, like, I got to get Bruno excited about this because he's on this journey with the instrument. And then Meryl's trying to pass session 2 or 3. 3. What? 3. So, and you did.
Yes.
So you're on 4 now.
Yeah.
So like, she's living in the camera. Oh, she's just like, it's cold in here. But that's who I'm talking to. So that's what keeps me motivated. Getting to meet you guys in person. You live in the camera. Like, I'm hoping as you're looking at your phone, you're making fun of me trying to say Gigant Theater. Like, I don't know what it's called, but it's like, okay, but we're on the journey together, you know? So, yeah, go ahead.
Am I allowed to have the same question?
Yeah.
And specifically, let's say like practice and preparation.
Yeah.
I assume it's very different
Yes.
for you. And how is it for you, like different phases in the year, seasons kind of thing?
Yeah.
And then if it's November or what have you, like most type of practice and stuff, or
Yeah, so it's a really good question. I mean, I do have seasons, so I have, basically my world is built into 3 seasons, I would say. There's drum camp season, which I'm in right now, which never has travel in it. So I just did 2 drum camps back to back, 2 weeks of drum camps. And the day that the campers left, I flew here. So I'm hanging on by a thread. If you want to see Loopy Mike, come to the clinic tonight, because I don't even know if I'll be here. I might fall asleep back there. But like, so this is my drum camp season. So the prep for this part of the year is, I don't even know. Is, let's say that I'm teaching a grid, a Gadsden group. My prep for this part of the year is, can I speak and do it? Because I have to teach a classroom while demonstrating everything. So that's almost like 5th limb independence. Can I speak over everything that I'm about to teach? And can I make sure like that I can do all that stuff? And then yeah, like then I'll have my filming season, which is where I film all new videos for the website and for social media and stuff. And then just recently, but the problem is the practice, that is like the most random tide that I cannot predict. I'm playing drums all day long and I'm practicing drums almost never. If I get in a half hour a week of practice, that's huge, but I play drums 6 hours a day minimum because I'm teaching and I'm filming, but I'm only doing things I can already do. And so just before I came here, the 2 days before I came here, I was getting into the studio before the campers. I was trying to get there about 5 a.m. and they get there at 10 a.m. And I just was obsessed with the drums. I couldn't stop practicing. And I was telling my wife, like, babe, I think I actually like the drums. They're not the evil thing that like pays for our mortgage. Like, I really like these. And I was having so much fun, and I got a headache from drumming. I haven't had a headache from drumming in forever. It was awesome. I was like, my head hurts. This is awesome. Because I was playing this like country tune that I'm gonna play tonight for no reason at all. Makes no sense in a drum thing. But it's like, it's a move and tune. And I got a headache, and then I got one of those, I got a blister. Man, I haven't had a blister in forever. But the problem is that will leave, and then you know, the longer you play drums, the less motivated you are to practice, especially because it's what are you required to do. Sometimes you're just practicing the songs you have to learn for a gig, and sometimes you're just trying to actually get better. So just know that it comes in and out. But everyone in my circle, my wife, my mom, Eddie, if you guys don't know who Eddie is, he's my husband. He's my podcast co-host, and he's like my best friend. But everyone in my life that's really close to me knows, like, as soon as the inspiration hits, I'm gone. I have to take, because I don't know when it's coming back. So I'm going to practice every single minute I can, because at some point it leaves, and then I still play drums all day, but not with the same passion. So sorry, I hope that helps. Last one. Like I said, last two, and then we're out of here.
Did I hear you say that you prepped the videos for in the season? So you recorded everything that will be released in September?
No, just for the
okay.
website.
Yeah.
Just the website.
Yeah.
Yeah, for social media, for YouTube, that's in the moment.
Yeah.
I have to like make sure that all that stuff feels natural. So it literally is coming to the studio, make my bowl of matcha, and then I just am like, the hell was that? And then I'm like, grab the camera, grab the pad. I'm teaching this thing. I think it was right, left, left. Yeah, we're teaching that, and that's it. Like, that's how my Instagram videos happen. It is so in the moment, and you just, if you let that moment pass for 1 second, you'll procrastinate and never do it. YouTube videos are a little bit tougher. YouTube is like a very, very thought out thing of, I have to go through my back catalog, see what videos, what did I do last, make sure that it's like, okay, let's give them something different. And then the other thing too, does anyone here do social media as a drummer? Like, that's your main thing? Yeah, hand. Anybody? Cool. So the main thing is just really recognizing social media credit and debt. So you have to kind of go and ask, like, okay, in my last 10 posts, how many of these posts did I ask for something? Come see me in Apeldoorn. Come to the Year of Drum show. That's me spending my limit. And the audience will only allow you to do, I can't then be like, and sign up for Mike'sLessons.com. Don't forget I have a signature cowbell. Have you seen my ride cymbal? Pretty sick. Like, ooh, then you're in debt. So I'm building by just giving free information and never, like, if you notice, I never say Mike'sLessons.com in any videos. If I do, it's quick. But it's never like, come sign up. It's just like maybe a logo at the end, but it's like, I gotta be careful with that stuff. So yeah, so I build up my credit, and then I know like, oh, I've got that trip to the Netherlands coming up. Now I can spend it by making a video where I ask you to come to this. Because even if you don't even live here, I still asked you for something. I took up your time on your phone, and I asked you to come to this thing. So yeah, so that stuff is thought out for sure. And one more?
Yeah, with maybe a follow-up question, yours with the practicing and the inspiration, it flows, it goes, and it comes. You teach so many people, but how do you teach yourself? How do
I come up with
gain
what I should
progress?
So yeah, so how do I figure out what to practice? How do I teach myself? One, I have no problem taking lessons. I take way more lessons than you guys will ever know about. And it's always from drummers that I've never even heard of, but I'm just scrolling through my phone and I'm like, man, that guy or that girl has something that I really like. I dig what's going on there. And it's a bit of a mystery to me how to get there. And I just reach out to them, and that's it. And I just say like, hey, are you open for a Zoom lesson? And if I'm fortunate, they've heard of me and they know who I am. And if not, that's fine too. If they're just like, yeah, bro, $80. I'm like, okay, cool. That's totally fine. And then sometimes they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, all right, I just need help here. So I take lessons. But the main thing is you just have to find something in some music or in some player that you love. And the one thing that I don't do is I don't transcribe. I mean, I obviously can write music and everything, but I don't ever learn like a Dave Weckl lick ever, or who's your favorite drummer?
Dave Weckl?
Fantastic. Who's your favorite drummer?
Ooh.
One of them.
Simon Phillips.
Okay, so like if I see Simon do some crazy thing, the last thing I would ever do is be like, I'm gonna learn that. Instead, what I ask myself is, what allowed that to exist in the first place? So let's say he goes, and I'm like, oof, gotta learn that. I'm gonna ask myself, was there bass drum? Yes. Did it go with anything? No. It was the kick was by itself. Okay, so it's linear. What was the subdivision? 16th note triplets. So it's linear 16th note triplets. Is there any sticking? Oh, it looks like it's all right, left, left, and then another right maybe? Okay, so it's groupings of 4 and 2 in linear. I'm gonna work on that whole concept for like a week, and that's what I practice, so that I can have a billion Simon Phillips fills rather than I learned his one fill. You know, like I always hear people when I say, hey, can you play a shuffle, like a halftime shuffle? 9 times out of 10, they're gonna play Rosanna or Fool in the Rain, and I'm like, that's a song. Now just play me a shuffle, and they can't take that kick pattern out. They can't just go. They go. And I'm like, stop playing Rosanna. That's not a shuffle. It is, but what I would rather you do is learn all the variations of shuffles, and then if you want to play Rosanna, go ahead. If you want to play Fool in the Rain, that's fine. But you know, I always learn the concept. So I just look for new concepts. What concept do I like to work on? Build things up. All right. I could do this all day. I love Q&A, but I'm sure your butts hurt and you probably have to pee again. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it more than you know. I hope you don't mind me making this about you and your individual journeys. That's so much more important to me than like me just being like, you want to see how fast I can go? Check it out. That's like, whatever. Okay. It just means you had a lot of time to practice. That was good. That was a good class.
Iedereen bedankt die hier geweest is. Ik hoop dat iedereen het leuk vindt en genoten heeft.
Zeker.
Ik zou zeggen, kunnen we straks allemaal even naar voren maken een foto. You like to take a picture of all your...
Oh yeah.
Like a picture of everybody. Ik wil graag Mike Johnston bedanken voor dat hij hier was. En ook Gretsch Drums.
Ja.
Ook weer graag bedanken. En, applaus voor jezelf.
Where would you like meet? Okay, but behind the scenes. Just that way down.
Step into the office.
Ik had de laatste betaald, dus whatever.
Yeah, I would say that's about a 260. In it doesn't matter. Oh man, we gaan hiervoor. Hey.
Well, say cheese.
Cheese.
Right,
Okay, wait. Can you move him out real quick? Okay. This is gonna get wild. Hey, you boys everybody needs to stand up. Okay, try your best to hold each other up, but you guys are gonna be pushing in this way, you guys are pushing in this way, and just don't let anyone die. Take as many pictures as you can and lots of screaming. Come on in, bring it in, bring it in. Okay. Nice. now you're just showing off, whistle guy. Okay, all right, that's so cool. Oh, it's so manly. I can't do that. Let me see. It's kind of quick though. Okay, so I'll do that. Now I can do that. This. I'm allowed to do it anywhere I want, but I will not play more than that. And then L, I'm just gonna move that kick to like, maybe like 1. So every once in a while, you gotta let me do this. 1 and 2. And then fills, nothing but what Harry Potter did. That's the only fill I'm allowed to use. If you hear me play anything other than that, just like, I have in-ears in, but just scream at me, like, oh! Like, don't boo, because that's just not gonna work well on camera if somebody's filming. But you can, like, make a, whatever, like, you know, I don't know, Norwegian noise. But yeah, just yell if because I'm gonna try to stay inside the rules and not do anything other than that. I think I can do it. Very, very just, yeah, but basically the reason why I want to show you this is because even though I'm going to show you all this kind of flashy stuff and the intro track had some drum solo stuff, the reality is 99% of the time, we don't really need much more than this. We have variations of it, of course there's a couple ghost notes here and there, but I just want to show you what it'd be like to play a full, you know, professional country song with just that, just this. By the way, when I do that, I'm literally saying Harry Potter, Harry Potter. And so, but yeah, so I'll only use that as my fill. But the big difference between me and somebody that's been playing for less than a year is that I actually believe in it. I don't think it's stupid. I don't think I should be doing more. I don't think, oh, this is lame. I think I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna give this everything I've got. So, hang in there. By the way, if you hate country music, it'll be over quick. It's like a 3-minute banger. Were you nervous? I didn't think so. You look pretty boss level. I thought I was going to see one of these from you. I thought you were I was like, go for it, kid. All right. There we go. Remember, if you hear any of this, some of this. Oh my God. This is like my nightmare. This is like a total nightmare. Like, hey guys, what do you think about drums? All right, back in the car. All right, here we go. Let's have some fun.
Make this go away. I need a top shelf drink that makes me feel good. Make this go away.
how to do it. Like, it's not enough to say, like, just do that. Okay, if I could, I would. So the way you practice it is you just take little chunks of notes in 16th notes and say, I'm gonna say every third one with force. So maybe you just do it with the actual counting. 1 E, a 2, and a 3, E and a 4 E and okay, and a 3, E and a 3, okay, and a 1 E and a 2. And you build it up until you can actually play it in any different way. Maybe it's on the kick. That's every third note. And then maybe even get to the point where you're doing it, say, with both feet. I'll bring this down. You should be able to count both of these as a quarter note, right? So most of you in the room right now are feeling this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But this, there's the beat. This is also a quarter note, because if I get rid of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That was always there. I don't think I can get this back. That was for James Gadsden. I forgot. James Gadsden. Oh, I can't say James's name. All right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where you develop that pulse, is being able to feel it the whole time.
Did I just hear a, are you making fun of me now? No, I'm just kidding. What am I going to do about it? I'm like a wet noodle. If you were like, yeah, I was, I'd be like, that's cool. Yeah. I'm going to drink my sparkling water and run.
Okay. Forever, so that I could finally have students, when I'd say, who's your favorite drummer? And they would say, Annika, and then they'd go right to the next person, not Annika for a girl. Just Annika. It's like, oh, yes, finally. And the reality is, she's better than you even know she is. I've done many events with her. Her and I have spent time in my studio together, just hanging out. Oh, it really was the batteries? I know you did. I talk a lot. I used up all the batteries. But she's even better than you guys know. She's one of the greatest musicians to ever live. She deserves the Rush gig, and she deserves the next 10 gigs that come after that. So give it up for her. And finally, 15 to 18-year-old girls that are playing and then are coming into that world of thinking about going to university, they have someone to look up to that's done this at the highest level it can be done, and they have proof you can do anything you want. You just have to be great, and she is, so we're really lucky. We have a long way to go to have full equality on all levels, but it's a good thing. She deserves that gig a lot. So, any other questions? In 3, 2. Oh, I'm so sorry. Look at your big giant hand.
How do you get from taking the hours, for example, playing on the rudiment and then do the 16 tone grids to switch it up to get free over it? So that's the point where I start. I can get in the hours, but I just need to switch the switch in my head to get free over it. But how do you do it?
Yeah, so he's asking about, wow, brand new batteries. This thing's hot. So he's asking about grids, and if you don't know what a grid is, just think of 16th notes, and we're going to hit the downbeats, the numbers, then the E's, then the ands, then the uhs, and then do that with 2 notes at a time. So if this is my pulse, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E, 2 E, 3 E, 4 E. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E, 2 E, 3 E, 4 E. 1 E and, 2 and, 1 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. You can also go to 8 notes and then the upbeats. So let's say that's called a grid system, and we could do that with the kick underneath a groove. We could do that with the kick under a rudiment. But I'll do it with my left hand underneath an ostinato. So let's say we've got a Brazilian ostinato like this. Nice, what'd you get? vodka? Double. Attaboy, Dad. A little lemonade. All right. So let's say we have this. Now over here, we're gonna bring in this, and then I'm gonna grid the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check in American basketball is when you hit a couple shots in a row, you hit a couple more shots, you're feeling kind of hot, you back up even further. You're like, heat check. And then if it goes in, you're like, damn, it's my night. Okay, so I'm gonna, like, the heat check is, I gotta speak. Ding, ding, ding. But I'm thinking in my left hand. I don't want to think, ga, 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 ga. That's boring. I want to, shake it to the bone, shake it to the back, the skip, take it home, black cat, oh. Skate it to the bone, take it down, bend me, grab on the gun. So Phil was the one that asked that question. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. It's really hard to see anybody from up here. There's a lot of lights happening, but it looked like your paw and your voice. So Phil, the tough thing is that's the actual work. I don't see the grid as the work. That's just, you just have to do that. That's just, you got it. It's once I've done the work, can I speak the language? And that's so hard. But for me, it does kind of start with just like little things, like, where's my 3 guy? Bobby 3, yeah. So I might work on like, what does a 3 sound like against this? I'm already regretting that I started this. This is like a terrible idea. Oh good, you have a cell phone, sweet, here we go. Speak, but Phil, I can tell you anytime I'm working on a new idea. By the way, real quick, is anyone here coming to my advanced drum camp this year? Frank, are you going? Okay, sweet. Okay, so I teach this stuff all the time, and we have people that have been to like maybe 10 years of my camps in a row, and I always write a new book, but they kind of know at some point, I'm like, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like they know all the tricks. So I invented a new ostinato, phones down for this. Thank you so much. Thank you to Fred and everyone at Drumzaak. I don't know how to say that. Drumzaak, that's what they're getting from me in California. But I can't be here. I don't come here on my own. It's not like I just dial up the gigant and I'm like, what's up? It's Mike swinging through on Wednesday. By the way, I have no idea what day it is. But like, I can't do that. Someone has to help me be here. So to the entire staff at Drumzaak, let's give it up for them. And I'm not just saying that, like sometimes I just won't mention the store because they're so mean to me, they don't even get me sparkling water, but these guys have been really cool. So they've been amazing, and then the other thing is, what pays for me to get out here, like my flights and all of that, like a lot of that is Gretsch drums, like this is a Gretsch drums event. I don't do the thing where I'm like, and these are 15-inch 7-pounder reserves, and you can get my sticks at Bob's Stick and Wax, like, dude, if you want to know about my gear, come up here. When the thing's over, just walk up here and look at it and take whatever you need and see if you get out of here. I don't think it'll go well for you, but I would love to watch it happen. So yeah, but I will say this, like, it is nice to come all the way across, the world and just play things that feel comfortable to me. So my suggestion to you is not go buy Gretsch drums, go buy Meinl cymbals, go buy Vic for 6. I couldn't care less. My suggestion is play gear that makes you happy. Get gear that when you walk in the room you go, I'm not walking past that thing. Pick the finish over the shells. You know what they are? They're round cylinders. Who gives a crap that you got one ply of birch in the middle? I can't hear the difference. What I care about is I walk in the room and I see the color and I go, we're having some fun today. So pick the color, pick the stuff you love, and honestly, just enjoy this instrument because it's incredible, and we're all really lucky to play it. So thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, I'll see you at the end.
Iedereen blijft nog even lekker hangen, want Mark die komt straks terug. You want some chewing gum and then you come back?
Yeah, all the things he just said, I was trying to tell him that earlier about the Huslota.
Ze hadden eens een meet and greet en heeft iemand nog een practice pad nodig? We hebben ze op voorraad en hij wilde een handtekening opzetten, dus pak je kans zou ik zeggen. Om te beginnen, maar straks gaan we hem bedanken, want hij zit dan klaar om te eten. Ik wil graag Monique bedanken, die heeft achter de schermen heel veel gedaan. Ik wil graag ook Gretsch bedanken, die dit ook mede mogelijk heeft gemaakt. En we hebben vandaag ook nog hulp gehad van Jorik en Burg. Hartstikke bedankt. Dan noem ik er nog één, anders wordt het een hele lange avond denk ik. Maar ook de gigant moet ik zeggen. Ook bedankt voor het houden hiervan. Tot nu toe. Blijf allemaal hangen. Dus jullie ook bedankt voor dat jullie er zijn.
Dan vind ik dat we Fred ook even een applaus moeten geven, jongens. Want zonder Fred was er geen Drumzaak. En zonder Fred waren we hier. Dus dankjewel, man.
Dus tot straks allemaal.
Thank you for having me.